Well, here we are at the Crawford Overlook. It's a viewpoint that's approximately halfway down from the top of the grade before we get to the Borrego Valley. You're looking out east, and at the far distant hazy mountains, we're looking at those mountains that are now actually on the North American plate. In front of it would be the San Andreas Fault, and in front of it, in other words, with that coming towards us, is that great body of water out there known as the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea, the trough that the sea is sitting in, is a pull-apart zone. That is, as the San Andreas Fault moves northwesterly, it drags along land not equally and creating areas where the land continues to drop in its elevation. That's why the sea maintains its elevation all these years without either filling up or overflowing. Now, as we continue to come closer to us in the east, you'll see some bumpy land out there. That's the Borrego Badlands. Those are remnants of the outflow of the Grand Canyon as it emptied out all of its sediments during its period of erosion 3 million years ago, when this territory you're looking at was approximately 45 miles further to the southeast, in front of the Colorado River as it still exists today. But the San Andreas Fault moved it northwesterly to this location. And that area there is an amazing area of erosion and sediments and structures that are a wonder to see and to visit. Now, as we continue to come past the Borrego Mountains areas and towards us, we have the Borrego Valley. Currently, the valley is filled in with quaternary sediments, that is relatively recent sediments that are erosion outflows from all the surrounding mountains. Now, as we pan to the left or to the north in our video here, we're going to see the start of a mountain range as it continues, and that is the Santa Rosa mountain range created by the San Jacinto Fault Zone. The zone runs to the front or to the lower portion of the Santa Rosa Mountains, and in between we see a small mountain with a little whitish streak in it. It's called Coyote Mountain. That mountain is fronted by another fault called the Coyote Creek Fault. All of these faults are connected to the San Jacinto Fault Zone, which may be hooked up with the San Andreas Fault Zone. In any respect, all of these zones have created areas where land can be uplifted and pushed along on a horizontal basis as these mountains are, and that's why the shape of what you see is a direct result of the fault zone. Now, if we continue to pan further to the south and to the right, we're going to be seeing a couple of bumps out there. That's Borrego Mountain. That's an outlier. It's an area that was formerly buried, pushed up as the Southern California batholith was rising. It's a 2 granitic core mountains. That is, if you drilled into it, you're going to get granitic rock. But it's surrounded by sediments that have been eroded and now exposing a lot of the former sediments and more of the granitic material, and sort of a very small microcosm of the area that we are currently standing on here at the Crawford Overlook. As we continue further south, we see more of the southern part of the Borrego Valley, and then the Fish Creek Mountains and the Vallecito Mountains to the far right. And in the foreground here, we're also seeing a profile of the San Ysidro Mountains sediments and rocks that have block faulted down to create the foothills that make up this immediate foreground shot. Every saddle that's created is a location of where a fault line has been created and where the block of material has used that zone as a falling off point.